Hey there, this is Linda West with Living Live, and today we are here with episode 14. We made it over the 13 hump. Aren't you glad, Justin? That's right. Let's raise the roof. So we are here talking about cryptocurrency. It's a really weird topic that really, it takes a lot to wrap your brain around it. And today we're going to be talking about, what was it? I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, I already forgot.
Collaboration, the collaborative nature of cryptocurrency.
Collaborative nature of cryptocurrency, which I can't wait to hear what the heck that's all about, because Justin knows so much about it that I don't know. And I'm really here maybe more like to be the person who doesn't know, who asks the questions for those who don't know about it. And now this is our 14th episode. That means there are 13 episodes for you to go listen to and catch up on what we're talking about at my Facebook page here, livinglive.tv. I have created a playlist that shows just the cryptocurrency shows. So if you want to watch those, just go ahead and check that out. If you know anybody who is into cryptocurrency and they want to maybe just learn a little bit more about it, not really fully understanding and grasping it, but maybe they're dabbling in it, go ahead and share this video with them. If you know somebody who doesn't know anything about cryptocurrency, I highly recommend just at least having them watch the video so they can learn a little bit about it, because cryptocurrency is not the future. Cryptocurrency is the now, and people are in it, doing it, making money. Some are making money, some are losing money. There's a lot of frauds and scams out there. And that's what the beauty is of interviewing Justin is, because Justin is a due diligence expert. And he has a company called CryptoBit Verified. And one of the things they do is they do due diligence on a whole bunch of different things, but our particular focus is on cryptocurrency because it is a beast. And so as an expert in the due diligence field, I love interviewing Justin because he's more about like teaching us how to look for the right cryptocurrencies, to make sure that we're at least doing our own due diligence when we go out there. And then also at the end of the show, we will share a little bit about his due diligence club to share with you how you can get into that if that's something that you're interested in. So Justin, welcome to episode 14. And how do you want to start the show off?
Well, I think we'll start with our normal disclaimer of neither you or I are financial advisors. None of this constitutes financial advice. Before you get involved with anything in the cryptocurrency space, make sure you know your own risk mitigation levels and you speak to one of your own investment advisors. But there is a lot to learn. There is a lot to understand in the cryptocurrency space. Like you said, there are a lot of frauds and a lot of scams out there. Our firm has already identified over 350 frauds and scams in just the last year alone, and I think I've got another 15 or 20 that I need to add to my list, because as they come in, I add them up and then we update the site as they come through and they get final reviewed. But I would imagine by the end of the year, we'll probably be well over 500 frauds and scams. And that's the unfortunate part of the cryptocurrency space, is because there are a lot of people out there taking advantage of people's naivety of not knowing what it is or how it is and what it works.
And we can, even pausing on that is that's what it's like with anything, thinking of any business, any money-making scheme or business that's out there, is that there's potential for frauds and scams. Now, cryptocurrency might be a little different because, first of all, it's very hard to understand. So it makes it easier to take advantage of people is one thing. But before we go further, I just want to say welcome, Paula. Paula, welcome to the show. Glad to see you here. And if you guys have, whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay, if you have any questions at all, go ahead and please, post them in the comments below. Whether you think it's a silly question or not, no question is silly, because especially this topic, it can be very, very confusing. It took me a while to really wrap my head around even the purchasing of it and why I wanted to purchase it. So any question that you have, please post them below. If we don't answer them during the live, we will answer them at a later time. Well, Justin will answer them at a later time. So let's go ahead and get into it, Justin. We're talking about the blockchain and, talking about specifically the collaboration nature. And what is collaborative nature? What does that exactly mean?
Well, the one thing I really love about being in the cryptocurrency space is the sheer fact that there's a lot of people out there that are really trying to do a lot of good with the technology and the ideas and whatnot. A couple of the projects that I'm directly involved with are just that. They're literally world-changing ideas, business-changing ideas, things that are going to put new systems, processes, procedures, and stuff in place that it's time to up-level different areas of business in the globe and how we do things. And I see a lot of projects that are out there doing just that and wanting to do a lot of good. And because of that, it requires those projects to be very collaborative in nature, because the old way of doing business was very, very competitive, right? Who can get a leg up on the competition, who can do it bigger, better and faster. Well, the sheer nature of blockchain in of itself is all about transparency. It's all about having a public ledger that is out there that anybody and everybody can see.
You want to explain that, maybe before we go further, again, because I know we've talked about blockchain a couple of times, but still, again, cryptocurrency is very confusing. So if you can just maybe a brief description again of what blockchain is, what the purpose is, why it's important for us to understand it.
Absolutely. So the biggest thing to understand and take away from understanding blockchain is literally it is a public ledger system that allows the public, the world, the globe to be able to get on and track and see who, what, when, where, why, and how things are being transacted. Unlike the old system, where you've got somebody maybe like a bank or a central depository or a single company that is managing all the information or managing all the money, and you really don't know what's going on, or there's really no accountability of it. There's no way to really question it. Blockchain removes that, because blockchain allows the public, because it is literally a public ledger, it allows people to get on and view and see and look at what's going on in whatever system that is. In cryptocurrency, it's understanding the movement of money. It's understanding the movement of cryptocurrency. And so that has a huge impact, because the financial banks, the banking systems, the way they're established now, you don't really understand how that works. A lot of people don't understand how money works in general. And then you throw into the fact that there's the entire banking system is built off of fractional spending, double spending, and all the things that have complicated it, debt and so forth, that it's why we're so far down the tube financially speaking, because that's been allowed to go on for so long. Well, with cryptocurrency, it's impossible, because it is a public ledger. It doesn't allow for double spend, and you can see where the money went. You can see where the money which wallets controls the money, and where it was transacted, and when it was transacted, and how much was transacted. You can see all of that online. And most of these cryptocurrency projects have some sort of token or utility token, or even store of value coin that is built off of blockchain technology. But not everybody's in it for the cryptocurrency aspect of it, because a lot of projects are coming forth that are being built on the blockchain technology for the sheer purpose of transparency, for keeping that information public while providing providers and users a level of anonymity, so they're not getting the unwanted attention. So, for instance, healthcare and research, right? Blockchain is a phenomenal tool that is being used by a lot of different organizations. Matter of fact, I'm speaking with a company tomorrow that's got a healthcare based business that they're going to use blockchain for, that will allow contributors and researchers to share information, but the contributors themselves have a level of anonymity and protection, to where if they don't want to reveal their identity, they don't have to, but the information can be tracked by the public and used for the greater good.
Oh, that's interesting. So let me see if I understand correctly. Okay, so as far as the ledger, the blockchain ledgers and stuff, not everybody. Okay, I'm sorry, thinking. So my eyes are going way over there, because I guess the answer's for me over there. I don't know. But not everybody who is on the blockchain or using ledgers has a coin, first of all, is correct?
Yeah, correct. Not every blockchain business actually has a token or a coin. There's a lot of them that are doing such because they're raising capital, and they're still having to go through the SEC and the securities regulations and so forth. But there are businesses out there that are establishing new technologies that are built off of a blockchain-based technology where there's no coin involved, because the blockchain itself is really the power behind cryptocurrency. And regardless of whether or not cryptocurrency stays around for the future or not, blockchain technology is really changing the way that innovative entrepreneurs are doing business.
Okay, that's very, very interesting. Very interesting. So it just makes it so that the information is more readily available to the public?
Absolutely. And it allows for transparency and accountability of when things happen, how they happen, the types of information that was shared, and it allows for a flow that allows business to operate a lot faster than it used to, because it's now there, it's readily available on the blockchain, on the network, for people to pull information from. And we've seen a lot of very creative projects that are using blockchain in very unique ways.
Can you give an example of one that would be something that we'll understand, you know?
Absolutely. So one of the big things, I like talking about the financial piece, is a lot of people think, well, you know, the anonymity, you don't have a whole lot of anonymity or protection, or what your identification is on the blockchain. Because with Bitcoin, it's really easy to track wallet movements. If you buy Bitcoin on an exchange, then you can, and then you move that coin to your personal wallet. It's then easy to associate and identify your personal wallet with the wallet that you purchased from the exchange on. But there are coins out there, privacy coins, that make it a little bit more difficult for transactions to be tracked, because the way their technology works is they literally, whenever a transaction comes into the blockchain, the technology is designed to break up that transaction into literally thousands of different individual transactions that then get sent across the entire network and then recombobulated back on the other side. And so the actual transaction itself from here to here, it shows up in your wallet here and it shows up in the other person's wallet here, but where it came from and how it was sent, whatnot, provides a level of anonymity and full protection that it becomes literally near impossible to track the actual full transaction. And those privacy coins are designed to do just that, and that's to give the end user full anonymity of being discovered on the blockchain. And that's got a lot more, that's got a lot bigger implications than just the financial piece, but in particular around research. Imagine we've all heard the stories, and a lot of them, again, they may be conspiracy theories, they may not, but you know, imagine you've got researchers around the globe that can have access to public healthcare information and ideas from geniuses all around the globe that can contribute to a project and upload it to the blockchain, knowing that their identity is completely concealed because of the nature of the blockchain, and they don't have to worry about repercussions from big pharma or another company coming in and stealing it or using it. Or, you know, we've all seen the again, conspiracy theories of, you know, the healthcare doctors that have come out and discovered cures for this and cures for that, and then poof, they up and disappear, or, you know, or found
literally
dead. Exactly, right?
Yeah.
And so, all conspiracy theories aside, that's huge, because now, from that, going back to the conversation of collaboration, that allows us to put information onto a public network that has a level of privacy. So if I've got concerns about the information that I'm sharing on the blockchain, I know that my identity is protected, but I know the information can be out there and validated and used by other people for good. And so it's a really, really powerful tool. Matter of fact, for instance, I mean, the whole, some of the things that we're seeing with like credit scores, right? I mean, you know, all the big credit bureaus got into a lot of trouble recently, right? Because of the way they report and how they track and double reporting and all those kinds of stuff. Imagine, if you will, if all your credit information you controlled, because you got to monitor it, and it was entered into a blockchain type of environment that it couldn't be duplicated. It existed there, and people can make a business decision on whether or not they want to give you credit based off of the information that they're seeing in the blockchain. without without it having to be whether or not it's got any other type of biasy or weights or measures or duplication of entry, because the blockchain doesn't allow for that. Or imagine, if you will, your healthcare information, right? What happens if you move cities? Well, if your healthcare is stored in one location, what's the likelihood that when you move cities that you're going to be able to easily get your personal healthcare information, right, without it being lost or misconstrued or any things of those types of sorts? Imagine, if you will, if your entire healthcare information was on blockchain technology, that anybody and everybody that was part of that blockchain network could access, and you didn't have to have fear about duplicating records or missing records or any of that, because it was located in one place and it stayed as part of that blockchain technology. And so it allows for us to communicate more faster.
Well, can I, as an individual, is there technology out there yet that I, as an individual, as a patient, that I can, I don't even know the question I want to ask. So it's just so much to think about. But because what I'm thinking is, as an individual, how does this play into for me? Like, how do I find that information? Is it on a website? And then how do I make sure my information then goes from this doctor to that doctor? If I move, like you said, like moving countries, or even like, how does that stuff get?
Absolutely.
How do they find it?
Exactly. So that's where the continued challenge of blockchain based businesses come into, is because those businesses now then have to go out and build those customers and get people on the network, and then coordinate and collaborate with other businesses and integrate their blockchain and their technology into other service providers and so forth. But what's beautiful about it is that the blockchain itself allows for that collaboration. And so there's not, what we're seeing in the sector is just that, is there are a lot of businesses that are coming into play and connecting with one another, to where this business has a little bit of overlay with this business, which has a little bit of overlay with this business. And because of blockchain, they're able to integrate and work smoothly with one another and collaborate, rather than compete. And there are some businesses out there that are doing similar things, and they're all trying to vie for market position in the market, and that's going to happen. However, what we're seeing at the core of a lot of these businesses that are being built on blockchain and cryptocurrency is just that, is the collaborative nature of the businesses. The people that are involved with them, the CEOs, the visionaries, have a bigger vision and are using this technology to better the world. I'm speaking with a group out in Los Angeles, a pretty high profile group out there right now, that are doing some amazing things in the Latino communities, and helping the underbanked do some amazing things out there. And they're on a huge mission to really change that entire culture of the underbanked. And we're seeing the project I'm speaking with tomorrow. They're in the healthcare industry, and they're wanting to use blockchain to help really, do what we were just got done talking about keeping records safe and making it easier for doctors to access, and all these things that it's really being used to better the world and change things, not just from the financial aspect, but from the technology and how we do things, how we've done things. It needs to evolve. And what's amazing is that blockchain is really allowing us the opportunity to evolve these businesses. And that's one thing I do want to point out is that it's something to understand is a lot of people think that because it's cryptocurrency, it's a magic pill. Right. Well, it's a magic. You got a token. You got a token based business, and therefore it's a magic pill. And they think it's going to happen overnight. And oh my God, it doesn't work that way. And if it does, it's most likely a fraud or a scam, because most businesses, legitimate businesses, it still takes time to build up the brand recognition. It still takes time. All the regular businesses, all the challenges that come with business in and of itself. You've got all that, and the added responsibility of educating the clients on what cryptocurrency is and how blockchain works and all those kinds of things, because we're so programmed to do things a certain way, and blockchain and cryptocurrency is a new way of doing things that oftentimes it's overlooked because of the hype in the media, because of Bitcoin spikes. People think that it's an instant thing. In reality, it's just like any other business, is that there are, steps that need to take place. There are things that need to take place, that need to happen. And what's beautiful about it is that, yes, blockchain is very collaborative, and when done correctly in the proper sequence, it will happen faster and make things a lot better. But those businesses still have to get to that point. And that's what we're seeing right now, is we're seeing a lot of these ICOs, blockchain-based businesses and whatnot, that I think the last stats that I read said something like 97% of ICOs fail within the first year or two, and then another 2% fail in the second to third year. And meaning that the chances of the likelihood of a cryptocurrency-based business succeeding are fairly low. But that's true of any business. It's just in the cryptocurrency space, there's not millions of businesses that are coming online. I think as far as regular businesses, I read somewhere that something like 2,000 businesses open and close at any given point in the week in the United States alone. And it may be more than that, but and so it's essentially the same type of percentages. It's just that there's a smaller group of people in the cryptocurrency space right now, and so it looks like it's a bigger number than anything. And that's only because mainstream businesses are still coming online with understanding the technology and blockchain and how to fully integrate it into their systems.
Well, let me ask you a question. As I myself, I'm a tactile learner. I learn better with touch. And so I think that could be why, potentially it's taking me maybe a little bit longer than some other people might be able to grasp it quicker. So how would you recommend that somebody like me, or like I said, tactile learner, be able to learn more about this and understand it better without being able to, because there's nothing tangible. There's nothing to touch.
Just exactly. I mean, there's, just like regular money, there's really nothing to touch. Yes, you can go to the bank and you can pull out cash, but how many people still use cash? At least, especially for big purchases and whatnot, right? Most people are using credit cards or debit cards or paying online. And so it's really, the easiest thing to do is just to start diving down the rabbit hole and understanding that it's really at the basic level of interacting. It's really no different than regular currency, US dollars, euros, or anything like that. I mean, you can get on an exchange, or you can go to your bank and you can buy euros, right? Same thing is true with Bitcoin. You're exchanging currency, you're exchanging US dollars for Bitcoin or Ethereum or so forth. A lot of coins require you to use Bitcoin to purchase them with, but it's just the idea of wrapping your mind around the fact that it is just a digital currency. And as far as other projects are concerned, it's diving into the sectors that are using cryptocurrency and blockchain technology and areas that you normally interact with, and start looking and seeing what's out there. There's a lot of amazing projects that are going on that are allowing individuals to take some ownership, some self-dominion over the areas of their own lives because of the solutions that blockchain is providing and these businesses are leveraging. And so, find something that interests you. There's at any given time, there's 1,700 new ICOs online. I think there's 4,000 some odd cryptocurrencies in existence, if not more.
But be careful. Be careful, absolutely. Because not telling you to buy anything for sure. And the thing is that they are risky, and you don't know if the people who are telling you about it really even know what they're talking about. And I can say that for experience. A friend of mine who was really, really touting touting this one cryptocurrency. And then I think 4 months later, it went down the tubes and disappeared and took all her money. So the point is that, just like anything, you got to be really careful about what you do, what you invest your money in. And these are investments. And so with that, they're very volatile investments. If you're the type of person who really needs to think about things really, really, really hard before you dive in, this might not be for you, at least as an investment vehicle, unless you really, really check the company out. But if you're the risk taker, you're like, you know what, I'm just going to throw $20 on number 10, on the spinny wheel, or whatever that thing's called. Then roulette, maybe this is for you, because it's like, that's a total gamble, right? So
that's you bring up a good point there, is that as with investing, there's always speculation involved. There's always business challenges that are involved. And so if it's something that if it's outside of your risk aversion level, don't get, my recommendation is don't get involved. Make sure you have a good conversation with your investment advisor. Recognize that it is cryptocurrency. It's extremely speculative. It's extremely volatile. And if it hits, it's typically hitting big, right? We're seeing lots of gains, but lots of big gains. But at the same time, the converse is true, in the sense that it's a lot. I'm telling people this, is that it's a lot faster. You'll lose your money faster in cryptocurrency than you will regular investments. Just because that's the nature of it. It's online, it's quick, and the minute you hit send, it's gone. So it's not like a bank.
Not that it's gone, like it's disappeared, but it's in. It's like it's in the system. Yeah, I don't want you to think that.
Exactly.
You had send and you got zero money. No, it's not like that at all.
But it's just the nature of it. And so my recommendation, folks, is always make sure you understand whatever opportunity or cryptocurrency that you're getting involved with. Understand how it works, why it works, how the blockchain technology behind it works. Understand how to send, how to receive, how to maintain, how to secure, and recognize that one of the things I'm very cautious of, and I had a good friend of mine that just brought this to my attention. He's fairly high profile in the industry as well, and he was just targeted for an attack. Somebody was trying to break into his accounts. Well, if you don't know how to properly secure your cryptocurrency, because with crypto you're essentially your own bank, right? And there's nobody coming to save you. If you don't know how to control it, if you don't know how to mitigate your risk in that, then it can be very easy to get hacked or lose your money or misplace it or lose it or not have access to it. And I've seen it happen. I've had people come to me and say, "Hey, I've got 100,000 token in my wallet and I forgot my password." Sorry.
SOL.
Yeah, not much I can help you with there, and so that's just something to pay attention to, is recognizing that there is a level of self-dominion that comes into play with being involved in cryptocurrency. So, but it is very collaborative, because most people in the crypto space, the ones that are truly on the up and up and wanting to do good and put some great stuff out in the world, are doing such from a place of wanting to help. Right. And really operating from that space. And you'll know right off the bat if somebody's not on the up and up. People are fairly attuned to it. It's just paying attention to those signals.
Yeah, don't get too emotional about it. So now Paula has a question. So we're going to get to Paula's question in just a second. So before we get there, I wanted to talk about the due diligence clubs. Now, Justin has I'm showing the wrong thing on my screen. There we go. The due diligence club. So why don't you tell them a little bit about the due diligence club? And Absolutely. To find it, you go to, put it on the screen, livinglive.tv/DDC, which is due diligence club. Check it out there. Why don't you go and share with us what due
Absolutely.
diligence club is? And then we're going to answer Paula's question.
So we've got the due diligence club is one of the things that our firm has provided, and it provides a lot of pre-vetted resources of what cryptocurrency is, a lot of stuff that we've compiled from various resources on the internet, stuff that we've been through, looked at that are really providing some solid information, as well as some pre-vetted opportunities. that if you want to get involved with, you can take a look at. There are things that our firm has checked out and that are on the up and up. You definitely want to make sure you do your own due diligence still to make sure it's within your own risk aversion levels. And we've also got coaches that we had that are part of our team that you can work with in one-on-one situations, as well as what my favorite part of it is that we meet once a month, and matter of fact, we're meeting again on the 28th of June. And once a month, everybody that's part of the club will have access to either myself directly or somebody on part of my team. And so we're going to have various experts in every month, from providing tax advice, talking about mining opportunities, talking about trading opportunities, what trading is, what trading is not, and so forth, and just how it works so people can start educating themselves in the crypto space. Because honestly, the more people that learn about it now, the faster it grows, the more valuable the coins become, and the more control that we have over our own life. And so you can go to that link right there, livinglive.tv/DDC. It's $20 a month. And so it's extremely affordable. Yeah, it's extremely affordable. And the call itself, the one call a month itself is worth well more than that. So come join us in there. Get some. It's a great place for you to dive down the rabbit hole and come play with us and start playing around and taking a look at the cryptocurrency world.
I think about the rabbit hole. I immediately think of Alice in Wonderland.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Great movie, a great book, great movie. Okay, so Paula's question. She says, this may be a dumb question, which no questions are dumb questions. So this is all about learning and knowledge. But is cryptocurrency in denominations, you're going to love this question, I know, like quarters and dollars, same for Bitcoin, or is it one coin or a collective of coins?
So each coin, it's a great question. Absolutely great question. So there's so many different coins out there, but I'll just address the top four. You have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash, right? And soon to be going to be Ethereum Classic, I believe, is going to be listed on Coinbase as well. So there'll be.
Do they have an ICO?
No. It's an existing coin. It's been around forever.
Okay.
Been around for quite some time.
I'm excited.
Those are essentially the top coins. Okay. Each one of those coins has its own value. Each coin is built off of a different type of blockchain technology. Ethereum is built off of smart contracts. Bitcoin, Bitcoin is built off of just standard blockchain technology. It's the granddaddy of them all, right? And each one has its own store of value and is determined by multiple factors, one of those being supply and demand, right? Because there will only ever be 21 million coins of Bitcoin available. And the remaining 4 million coins that exist are going to take 122 years to mine. So Bitcoin's going to be around for quite some time. Now, to answer the question on, is it a fraction? Do you have quarters? Do you have nickels? There are no names given to the actual fractional amounts of currencies. Those are the actual the names that are given to the fractional amounts of US dollars, right? But you can have a quarter of a Bitcoin. You can have half a Bitcoin, right? You can have a tenth of a Bitcoin, just like a dime. So, but typically in the cryptocurrency space, it's typically not referred to as nickels, dollars, or quarters. It's typically referred to in 0.5 Bitcoin, half a Bitcoin, 3/4 of a Bitcoin. It's more talked about in that level. In some of the deeper circles, you talk about satoshis. Satoshis are the decimal points after are the space holders after the decimal point.
There's a lot of them.
There's 8 of them in Bitcoin. In different Bitcoins, in different cryptocurrencies have different placeholders. So Bitcoin goes down to 8. Some coins only go down to 4. So so it just really depends. And so for Bitcoin purposes, the smallest denomination is the last spot, 8th spot. It's I think it's 1/1 millionth of a one millionth of a Bitcoin. I may be wrong on that math, but I think it's one millionth of a Bitcoin, and that's called a Satoshi. It's the smallest unit of a Bitcoin. And so
wait, that'd be 10 millionth because you said 8 zeros, right?
So 8 zeros. So
yeah,
that's decimal point, and then 8 zeros, and the last zero is known as a Satoshi. And so that's the smallest denomination on a cryptocurrency. So really, it's just a matter of wrapping your mind around needing nickels and dimes and stuff to transact with. It's more understanding that it is a fractional currency and can be transacted as a fractional currency as well.
So what's interesting is, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, Paula, but so when you, for example, if you were going to buy a coin that was not a Bitcoin, it's possible that coin would want you to buy Bitcoin first, some Bitcoin. You can buy a small percentage, like you can even spend, invest $50 in Bitcoin, for example. So that coin that you wanted to buy might require you to buy Bitcoin first, and then transfer that Bitcoin money over to their coin. It's like a transaction. It's a process of transacting your money. So if you want to think about it as dollars, for example, you could think of a dollar bill in the US were transferable throughout the entire world. So I could walk with this dollar bill or drive or boat with this dollar bill over to China and then just be able to transact it. So that's what Bitcoin does, is it removes the need for exchanging all of your money in different countries, is because you can use the Bitcoin as the one central coin to Absolutely. Transfer money all over to all the different types of coins. Would you say
it really empowers business owners and individuals to transact in a global, it's literally a global currency, because you don't really have to worry. While yes, there's an exchange rate. So the exchange for, Bitcoin for euros versus Bitcoin versus dollars is maybe a little bit different. One Bitcoin is one Bitcoin, and it's in that translation to US dollars that a lot of people get hung up on. But globally speaking, it is literally a global currency that you can transact with.
Are you the one who was telling me about somebody who took Bitcoin for a pizza or something like that?
Yeah. So one of the very, 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 very first transactions that Bitcoin was actually used for, I want to say it was 2013, may have been 2014. They actually have a day for it. They call it Bitcoin Pizza Day. Somebody spent 10,000 Bitcoin to order 2 pizzas. Well, that's roughly, when Bitcoin was at 10,000 a pop, that's a hefty chunk of change for a pizza.
Because now it's at like $6,700.
Yeah, that's what, $6.5 million.
For 2 pizzas.
For 2 pizzas, that's an expensive pizza.
The most expensive pizza ever.
Yep, exactly.
That's so awesome. Well, I think it's a great topic. I really, I've enjoyed these. We're going to keep going, of course, with them, and learning more and more each week about cryptocurrencies in general, but then also just diving into the blockchain. How to communicate about it is what I think is going to be the biggest hurdle. And then once more people know about it, so less than 0.5% of the population has
less than 5%.
Less than 5%. I thought it was 0.5. Okay, so less than 5% of the entire world's population has even heard about Bitcoin.
Yeah, and that number's growing. That number's growing, and as under the law of supply and demand, as more people want it, use it, need it, the more valuable it will become. And so we're already sitting at $6,500 a coin. Imagine what will happen when 20% of the world is transacting in Bitcoin.
Right. And so Paula says, thanks for the information. Lots to learn. There's a ton to learn, Paula. So I know that you posted in one of the groups, and so I recommended you come watch us here. And, the thing is that there is a lot to learn. And Justin, you're still learning, right? I mean, you've been really in
Oh, my goodness. The amount of stuff that I uncover and that I learn on a daily basis is just so amazing. And that's the beautiful thing is I don't consider myself a cryptocurrency expert. I'm a risk mitigation expert. I'm a due diligence expert. And so I know what questions to ask. I know where to look and what to go down and so forth. And so I just happen to understand cryptocurrency at a level that most don't. And so I'm able to translate a lot of stuff and share that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't consider myself a cryptocurrency expert at all. There's a lot smarter people in the world around understanding the financial metrics of it and the technology behind it and so forth. For me, it's always about, asking the right questions. Does the due diligence check out, and helping people mitigate their risk? That's the key, mitigating risk, because you can never eliminate risk, because without risk, there's no gains. And due diligence is all about risk mitigation. And so you can make an educated decision on what to get involved with, when to get involved with, and whether or not you have enough information whether or not you should even get involved with something in the first place. And with blockchain and Bitcoin itself, there's so much information that needs to be, processed that it's definitely keeping us busy over here at the Reckler Group.
Yeah, it's so awesome. I'm glad we've hooked up. So again, go to livinglive.tv/DDC if you want to check out the Due Diligence Club, $20 a month. And, as I'm talking to you today, I'm realizing that, too bad my dad's not still alive, because I think he would have loved this. He was a computer programmer and he figured out a whole bunch of crazy stuff like that. I think he would have absolutely loved this technology.
Absolutely.
So, oh, well, there's others out there who will enjoy it like you. But it's a crazy, interesting topic, and I love talking about it. Hey, what are we going to talk about next week? What do you think?
You know what? I'm going to come up with that. I think we touched about. Why don't we talk about on what it means to, or what you need to do to start transacting with cryptocurrency, and especially if you're a business owner, what that looks like for you as a business owner to start transacting with crypto.
Okay, so it'll be like transacting crypto as a business owner or something like that.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Oh, let's do it. It's going to be a good one. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. I know we went a little bit over. Oh, we went quite a bit over today. But thank you so much for your time. Thanks, Paula, for tuning in live. Really appreciate it. Again, if you guys have any questions at all, please post them in the comments below. Either Justin or I will get back to you, and go check out the Due Diligence Club. It's a great group, a lot of great information. And for $20 a month, I mean, it's a steal. So I highly recommend it. So hop on over there, and we'll see you guys next week for Crypto Convo. Bye-bye now.
Bye.